Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay, everyone, let's get started. I just want to make sure I have this up. Oops, that's not what I wanted. You come over here. All right. Let's go back. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Taylor Kingsbery, and you are here to hear about our AISES internships. So now we're going to start with introductions, and then we're going to move on to the value of internships. We're going to talk about the AISES 2023 opportunities, and we're also going to talk about how to apply for these internships that we're going to talk about. And then we'll talk timeline, we'll take questions, and we're also going to do a gift card giveaway. So introductions today, we have with us Dr. Johnny Pula. I will let him introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. Like she said, my name is Dr. Johnny Pula. I'm Director of Student Success with AISES. I'm a citizen of the Delaware Nation. I'm also Kiowa, Comanche, and Chiricahua Apache, and I work remotely in Anadarko, Oklahoma, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to see some of you guys, and I wish you good luck on your semester, and hopefully that you will get some information today about our internships and apply. I think they're wonderful, awesome opportunities, and I hope you all take advantage of those opportunities that you get. So have a good webinar.
Thanks, Johnny. And again, I am Taylor Kingsbery. I am a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation of Oklahoma, a descendant of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, and I live and work in Colorado, but I'm originally from Tishomingo, Oklahoma, and I am the Student Success Program Officer. Monique Harvey, who some of you probably know, she's out sick today, but she is our Student Success Program Manager, and she's also always available for questions, and I'm sure you'll hear from her if you do scholarships, these internships, or other programs in AISES. Okay, so next. Come on. Next, we're going to talk about the value of internships. Oh, another thing is if you have questions, you can put them in the chat. I'm going to go through the entire PowerPoint, and then we can talk about questions at the end. So just save your questions or put them in the chat, and we'll be able to go over them then. So right now I want to talk about the value of internships. So we know the value of scholarships, right? We want the monetary value. Sometimes it's nice to be part of a cohort of a scholarship, get that name recognition, but no one really talks very much about the value of internships. At AISES, we really value our internships because it really allows our students to go and experience something that generally is life-changing for them, and also it really sets the trajectory of their careers and their field of study. So 3 areas that we think are valuable for internships, and there are a lot of them, but we're going to focus on 3 today. The first one being application. You learn a lot of things in your classroom, and internships allow you to actually use those things in real world scenarios. So you get to go to offices sometimes, or you get to work with professionals, you get to ask questions, you get to work on that code that you've read about, or you get to try out that marketing strategy that you've studied. So it's a really great way to get to apply those things you're learning in the classroom to real world scenarios. Another thing is networking. As a lot of you know, a lot of the ways you get jobs, you get opportunities is by who you know, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, it's a great thing, but it also does give you a really good leg up in a lot of different areas. So networking allows you as an intern to make connections that you wouldn't if you're just going to class and then coming home. Obviously, internships is a real, it's only accessible to some students who can actually, take the summers off and go. But if you can, networking is great. You're going to find someone who could even be your mentor, or maybe you're going to make a bunch of LinkedIn connections. Letters of reference is a huge one that you can get from your internship. So you're making these connections that are going to help you in your career path, or even excel just just in your studies. So scholarships at AISES, we require 2 letters of reference. It's always nice for one of those to not be your teacher necessarily, but someone that can speak to you in your field, or someone who can speak to just how you are as a person. And finding someone in your internship to do that for you is a really great way to use those opportunities. So definitely networking. And the last thing is growth. So for internships or for scholarships in school, obviously, it's really great to be able to live in dorms or to meet people at the student union, those kind of things. But for internships, it's actually going to allow you to really broaden your horizon, especially for the internships that you travel away from your home or away from your school to attend. You're going to learn about a whole new city. You're going to learn how to, travel to and from work, like as a commute, or just different experiences within the field that you might not know. Like maybe there's a new coding language that you've never worked with, and you get to experience that firsthand. So you're going to grow in ways that you normally wouldn't if you just kind of stay within your school. It's really going to broaden your horizons. You're going to meet new people and get a whole new perspective. And it might also, you might change your trajectory for school. Like maybe you learn a skill at these internships and you decide that, well, I would much rather go into that field. That was really cool. So it's just a really great way to broaden your horizons. So now that we've gotten the spiel of why you should do internships and the real values it brings to people, we're going to talk about how AISES can support you in these opportunities. So this year we have a whole new internship, which is GeoComply. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the ones we've offered for a couple of years, like Forest Products Lab, and we're also going to talk about some of the expanded internships. So the first one we're going to talk about is Aristocrat. Aristocrat has been one of our partners for a long time. And up here in the corner, you're going to see Pamela Sage. She was the intern this past summer, and they actually offered her a job at the end of her internship. So Pamela had never traveled away from school. She traveled all the way from Arizona to Tennessee and stayed there. She went to Nashville, did all these really great things. And at the end of it, they loved her so much, and she loved the whole opportunity so much that they offered her a job, and now she's working remotely for them from Arizona. So the internship, the title is Software Engineer Intern. Pamela was an IT specialist, but she learned a lot of coding and a lot of different skills that she didn't have just from her degree plan. It's 10 weeks in Franklin, Tennessee, which is really close to Nashville. And I've heard it's really beautiful, really fun. And there's a lot of different things you can do around Tennessee. So this internship is available to undergrads and graduate students. They really want you to be in the fields of casino gaming. So software engineering, that kind of technology, supply chain. But that's what you're going to learn about is they make casino games. So you're going to be able to learn about those skills. You'll intern with the software engineering department. You'll work one-on-one with a lot of their senior engineers, and you'll gain insights into debugging, maintaining existing code bases, assisting with senior developers on their design and coding tasks. You'll learn about tickets. You'll learn about hot fixes, those kind of things that go into being a coder day to day. For the internship, we offer round trip flights to and from the internship or driving stipends. If you want to take your car, there's lodging that's provided. So the whole 10 weeks that you're there, we pay for the lodging. You get a weekly stipend. So these are paid internships. So you're going to be able to be paid weekly. Actually, it's every 2 weeks, but you get paid every 2 weeks a stipend. And that's something that you get to keep. And also we give local travel allowance. So bus fares, you'll get money for if you want to rent a bike, take Ubers, those kind of things. So it's a really great opportunity. Aristocrat, we've had a lot of really great interns come out of this. So if you are in those fields, we definitely recommend that you apply. The next one we're going to talk about is BMM, another engineering internship. This one's in Las Vegas. They also are in the gaming security world. And so if you are an undergrad or graduate and you're in the computer science, computer programming, engineering, electrical engineering isn't one that they offer, that we don't have a lot of other ones that offer. And they definitely want to look, or they also allow for like mathematics, statistics, if you are in IT or network and systems administration, those are also fields they're interested in. And ideally, they would like this person to be completing their junior year, going into their senior year, because again, these internships are looking at job offers. They're looking at potential employees, and so they want you to be around those ages. But if you are a sophomore going into your junior year and you're interested, we still don't recommend that you apply. They do take exceptions sometimes, and so if this is interesting to you, definitely apply. You would be working with the test engineering department. So you're going to be assessing game technology integrity. So looking at, are these games easy to break into? Those kind of security models around casino gaming. If you're interested in looking at like code performance, so statistical analysis of the gaming devices, or if you're wanting to look at more like source code and you're wanting to know like the whole like back end of how to develop these games, these are going to be things that you're going to learn at BMM. And again, we offer the round trip flight, you get lodging, you get a weekly stipend, and you also get local travel allowance, as well as the opportunity to be in Las Vegas for 10 weeks, which sounds pretty fun. So that's BMN. The next we're going to talk about one of our new ones, GeoComply. So GeoComply is offering two different internships. We're going to write the first one, which is the business development internship. At AISES, we don't have a lot of opportunities for business majors, and so this is really exciting. If you're in business development and you want to learn more about, they also do gaming, and they're mostly on the cybersecurity side. So if you want to learn about cybersecurity, but more of like the business development of how to run these programs on the business side, this is a really great opportunity. So finance, economics, marketing, those kind of things, undergrad and graduate. And you would be interning with the business development department, which is really exciting. And basically you'd be working with the business development team to look at the awareness and knowledge of gaming, support the licenses. So you'll actually get to learn what it takes for casinos and for different opportunities to actually apply for gaming licenses, as well as just checking security in general. So Las Vegas again for 10 weeks, round trip flight, lodging, weekly stipend, and local travel allowance. So the next one is the other GeoComply internship, which is field performance. So again, kind of back to that computer science, computer engineering field. So this one is 10 weeks in New York City, New York, which sounds so cool. So this is the only one we have in New York, and you will be the operations support intern. You'd be working towards, we want the ideal candidate to be working towards a computer science, engineering, data analysis, or one of those similar adjacent fields. You'll be working with the field performance team, and basically you would assess the testing of the games. You'll be looking at the security. You'll be working on Jira, different kind of data dashboards, and also looking at a lot of code bases, round trip flight, weekly stipend, and local travel allowance. And they're taking 2 interns for each. And so you wouldn't be alone, you'll be with someone else. And so you'll be able to have like another support system, another AISES student be there with you. The next one is BPA, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. We've offered this one a couple of times, and they have 3 internships. The first one is transmission. This one is located in Vancouver, Washington. Again, it's 10 weeks. You'll be pursuing an engineering degree. They want like electrical, civil, or mechanical engineering, and you would be working with the actual engineering team there. You'll be assisting in, drawing, designing the functions of the equipment for BPA. So it's a little more hands-on. You won't be so much like in a computer lab or working in an office. You're actually going to be working in the field with these different tools and learning how to fix them, how to build them. Again, round trip flight, lodging, weekly stipend, and local travel allowance. The next BPA internship is cultural resource. This one was new last year. We had an intern who absolutely loved it. And it's also one of the only internships we have that fields students who are in the archaeological or anthropological fields. So 10 weeks in Portland, Oregon, you would actually be going to the BPA headquarters, but there's a lot of field work in this internship. So you will be traveling to Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, looking at different archaeological dig sites, looking at preservation sites, looking at museums, meeting with partners, a lot of fun field work. They want a student who has a background in archaeology, anthropology, historical preservation, or one of those kind of related disciplines. You'll be interning at the BPA headquarters with their cultural preservation team. And what you'll be doing is you'll be kind of looking at the compliance of some of the other internships as well. You'll be going and working in historical preservation. You will be looking at how to instruct a project team around historical preservation and cultural preservation, surveying, shoveling, monitoring sites, looking at archaeological digs. And then you'll be writing reports and sharing those with BPA. So weekly stipend, round trip flights, local travel allowance. This one is a very cool internship. So if you're into one of these fields or know someone, definitely apply or have them apply. The last BPA internship is the fish and wildlife. So this is the fish hatchery internship. You'll be 10 weeks at the fish hatchery, which is located in Washington. And you'll be working closely with the Yakima Nation. So the fish hatchery is actually run by the Yakima Nation's team. And so they want a student who's looking at biology, environmental science, natural resource, fish and wildlife sciences, or a related field. And you would be doing a lot of tasks at the fish hatchery. You get to wear waders, you get to be in the water, looking at the different fish, looking at the way the fish nourish the community. And that's one of the big goals of this fish hatchery is to reintroduce these fish into the river and start supplying them again, the salmon. And so it's a really great hands-on fieldwork opportunity if you're interested in that. We always have the students who really love it, and you really get down and dirty with the work. And so if that's something you're interested in, definitely apply. Round trip, lodging, weekly stipend, and local allowance. And for this one, you actually are lodged at the fish hatchery. And so it's a really great opportunity to get to like work and live with people who are doing this work. And so really hands-on, really immersive. And the last one is our USDA Forest Products Lab. And this is an engineer. Oh, sorry, they have two. This is the engineering intern. So this is going to be 10 weeks in Madison, Wisconsin. Here you'll see one of our interns last summer. He had a really great time. He was checking the density of the wood. I think they were rebuilding or looking at rebuilding a bridge here. They want a civil, structural engineer, mechanical, anyone who's interested in those kind of like building and preserving the wood integrity of bridges or light posts, those kind of things. Focusing on timber highway bridges, historical truss bridges, and bridge inspection practices. You'll work directly with the team and do a lot of field work as well with the supervisor. And then you'll get to run around Madison, Wisconsin, which is really nice. And round trip flying, lodging, weekly stipend, and local travel allowance for this one as well. The last one we'll talk about is the USDA Forest Products Lab marketing internship. So our only other business related internship, again in Madison, Wisconsin. And this one you'll actually learn the business background of natural resources. So you'll get to focus on how to market these new wood products that Forest Product Lab is working on the integrity for. So biochemical, bioengineer, and bioproducts, and how to market those. So cities and companies will use them to build their bridges. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of our opportunities for 2023, now we're going to talk about how you actually apply for these. So the first thing you do is you're going to log into AISES. AISES is our online scholarship and internship application platform. And all you need to do to apply for our internships and scholarships is go to any of the links on any of the scholarship or internship pages. And there's an apply now button on the side. That's going to take you, every single button goes to the same place, and it's your AISES login or account creation. From there, you are going to log in or create a login, and you're going to create or edit your eligibility and profile. Both of these things have to reflect your 2023-2024 academic year, because not only will you be able to apply for internships, like I said, scholarships are another thing we host on there. So if you want to be matched with scholarships that you can apply for that are going to start in fall 2023, you're going to do that on AISES. And the next thing you're going to do, and the eligibility and profile, they do the automatic matching. And that's why it's so important, is if you say that you're a structural engineer, you're going to get matched with Forest Product Lab. And we like AISES only shows you the opportunities that you match and you're eligible for. So don't worry about getting an opportunity that you shouldn't apply for. Any of the opportunities, and there's also write-ups of each of them, and make sure you're interested in them, then apply. If you have questions about that, we're always available. Or if there's one that you think you should be able to apply for, but you didn't get matched with, always reach out to us. We'll be able to tell you why you didn't, and if we think that you should be able to apply or why you shouldn't. Number 3, match and apply. Like I just kind of went over, it's going to match you to them and definitely apply. And then the letters of reference is the 4th one. So each opportunity for internships, it's 1 letter. For scholarships, it's 2 letters. But in order to have a completed application, you have to have a letter of reference. And the letter of reference cannot be written by someone and then you submit it. The way our system works is when you go into a scholarship or internship opportunity, there's going to be 2 portals. There's going to be your application portal, and then underneath it's going to be letters of reference or reference request. It's going to say reference request. If you click on reference request, you're going to input the email address of the person you want to submit the letter on your behalf. This is really crucial, really important, because they must submit that letter on your behalf. You cannot submit it. They cannot write it to you, write it for you, send it to you, and you submit it. It does not work that way. They must submit it through the portal. And that's how we obtain it, is it is linked to your profile through that, or linked to your application. For letters of reference, they get an extra week to submit that for you, and I'll go over that here in a second. But you have to have their email put in by the closing date of the application. So let's talk about that more. So next we're going to look at the timeline. So December internships open. So they've been open since December 16th. And they're going to close the last day of February. They're going to close on February 28th, that night at midnight. They will be closed, midnight Mountain Time. You must have your application completed and submitted. You must have your letter of the email address of the person you want to submit your letter of reference done by the 28th. The letters of recommendation are due, like they must be submitted by that person by March 7th. You cannot go into your application and resubmit an email address after the 28th, but we do give the person to submit their letter for you an extra week to do that. If you plan on applying and you plan on submitting a letter of reference, or you plan on obtaining that, you must you have to, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. you have to let them know. Please let them know. Please always tell them that this is coming. Please submit this on my behalf. It's really crucial that you do this, because what they're going to get from us, they're going to get an email with a link. It's going to look suspicious if they don't know what it is. They're not going to click on it. They're going to think it's a phishing email or it's something weird. So please always let your references know that this is coming, and please explain to them how they submitted. They're going to get an email. It's going to have a link. They click on that link. It's going to be an upload bar. All they do is they attach the PDF or Word document to that and send it off, and that comes to us and is attached to your application. So that's March 7th. After that, we do not accept any more letters of reference. So it must be submitted by then. Then we're going to start the candidate screening, and positions offers are sent on a rolling basis. So some of our partners, some of the internships are definitely wanting to get their internships early. So the earlier you can submit your internship application letter of reference, the better your chances are going to be. They're going to want to start reviewing those as soon as possible. So if you get it in on the very last day, it's still fine. It's going to get reviewed. But if you get it in like next week and the letter of reference is submitted next week, there's a chance we'll be able to send it to the partner, and you might get a phone call even earlier than the week of March 13th and then on through May. So the earlier the better. If you're interested, please apply. So now we're going to start with questions. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? Nope. Okay. Thank you. And Johnny, do you want to do the gift card?
Yes. So yeah, well, here we do gift cards. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but we do gift cards for all of our webinars. And I went ahead and did it old school, and I put everybody's name who's in the chat or in the webinar today in a hat, and I drew names, or my niece drew the name. She's home from school today for the road for the icy weather, but the winner is Miss Sonia Khan. So Sonia, if Sonia could email Taylor your information, and then we'll get your gift card sent out to you. So congratulations, Sonia.
My email is in the chat, and everyone can like copy that down if they have questions as well. And it looks like someone raised their hand. So go ahead and you can ask your question.
What if your major doesn't line up perfectly? What should you do on your application to show, like if you're a design engineer, but you have a lot of mechanical engineering in the background, so you're not qualified?
So you probably won't automatically match. So then you would reach out to me and just let me know like which one you're interested in, and then what your background is, and like kind of why you want to do that. And then I could add your name to that internship so you can apply. And then there is essay portions where you can definitely write about why you think that your major aligns with this internship and why you want to go there. And the internships read all of the essay questions, and so definitely kind of lay that out for them, and that wouldn't be a problem at all. It sounds like you would be a good match, so just email me whichever one that you're interested in if you don't match with it initially, and then I can help you through that. Any other questions? That was a good question. Okay, well, grab my email, everyone. And if you do have questions that come up, please let me know. Please apply for these internships. I promise you, it's a really great way to, someone's drawing. It's a really great way to get some really great opportunity and exposure. And if you ever have any questions about it, or you're nervous or anything like that, please reach out to us. We want to help you. And a lot of our internships we don't actually get to. So there's not a lot of people that apply for them just because they are over the summer. So if you're interested, 100% apply. There's a really good chance you'll get it. There's a really good chance you'll be interviewed. So thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to email me if you have questions, and have a great rest of your week.